You know, summertime in Seattle means sunshine, it means barbecues, fun on the water. And coming up next month, hundreds of swimmers and kayakers will hit the water at Seward Park for what has become a Seattle summertime tradition. The Swim for Life has raised over $500,000 for Bloodworks Northwest over the past 20 years. And joining me now, Scott Lautman, who you probably will not be able to keep up with in the water. He is a world-class open water swimmer and cancer survivor with a special connection to this cause. And Dr. James Abushan with Bloodworks Northwest. Good morning, gentlemen. Great to have both of you here this morning. Now, Scott, you have crossed the English Channel. You have crossed the Gibraltar Strait. People do this in boats. You did it swimming. People look out at these beautiful views like the Puget Sound. We say, oh, that's a gorgeous view. You're the guy jumping in and swimming it. Why?
I've been a lifelong swimmer, competitive swimmer in the area, swam at the UW. And it's just a great way to exercise. And I have a real, really affinity for swimming from A to B. It's just you look across the sound and you see Vashon, you go, man, I wonder how long that would take. So it's that kind of just part of what we do. And a lot of the swims are destination swims. We pick a place between continents, Europe to Asia, North America, South America. We swam across the Panama Canal.
I can't even imagine. So to that, and you and I took part in a swim years ago from Bainbridge to Alki. I was petrified of what was under the water, and at one point we swam past a sea lion. I got stung by a jellyfish. What's the scariest thing you've encountered in the water?
I think a large seal. Unexpected. It's fine if you know that they're there and you can see them, but when anything touches you and you're not sure what it is, I'm like everybody else. It's really nerve-wracking.
And they're eyeing you suspiciously the whole time, like, what the heck are you thinking about, human? So what's your connection with Bloodworks Northwest and Swim for Life? Now, as I mentioned, you had a health scare.
Yeah, I was diagnosed with bone cancer in 1979, and it recurred 3 times, and during the course of that, multiple different surgeries. I had received multiple units of blood over the course of those surgeries, and it's nothing more important than the blood and the miraculous things it does for you when you get a transfusion, when you need one, is one of the reasons. I love helping any way I can with Bloodworks Northwest. But the other thing is, I think nobody expects to need it, most of us.
Yeah.
And even though it's a long time ago, and the experience stays with me, and I'm just really glad to, help with the Swim for Life and kind of help with the work that Bloodworks Northwest does.
Dr. Abushan, Scott's story must be an inspiration to you and a reminder that we all rely on the blood supply.
Indeed. All the hospitals in this area rely on Bloodworks Northwest to make sure that they have the blood needed so that patients like Scott can get the life-saving care that they need. In the month of July, we were hoping to attract 10,000 donors so far at this point, and we're 1,000 donors short.
Okay.
People get busy in the summer. We need their support. We also appreciate the support of swimmers like Scott and the folks who are helping sponsor this year's Swim for Life, Cigna. Cigna is helping as a financial sponsor and also providing some of the volunteers we need to run the event.
And summer is typically a time when the blood supply runs a little bit low, and that was just in the news. We were talking about that just a few weeks ago. So why are events like Swim for Life so crucial for you?
They bring visibility to the need for blood, and they allow us to inform the community how we use their support in terms of blood donation, but also their financial support. It's very important in keeping our research institute active.
And you don't have to be a swimmer. Kayakers welcome as well, and the Swim for Life, in its 20th year now, it's raised over $500,000, as I mentioned. How's that money used?
The money is used primarily in support of our research program, but also we have large capital expenses, such as buying bloodmobiles. Those are expensive vehicles, and we need to keep them on the road all the time.
I don't know if it's bad form to mention a dude's age, but Scott, you're 64. How long can you do this? What's next for you?
I've got a couple things that I have on my list. Cook Strait, North Island to South Island in New Zealand. Wow. I'm 64, I'm getting older. I've got my bone cancer that I had in my leg, and I had a transplanted cadaver piece is getting a little bit of wear and tear. So I'm just kind of day to day, but anytime I get to swim, like the Swim for Life, it's a bonus.
Day to day, like all of us, but glad you're here.
Thank you.
And glad that you're well. Great to have you gentlemen this morning. Scott Lautman and Dr. James Aubuchon, great to have you this morning. And by the way, the Swim for Life coming up on August 25th at Seward Park in Seattle. That gets underway bright and early, 7:30 a.m. There's a 1 mile swim, and then there's a 2.5 mile swim. And it's an out and back course, so you can just, park there at Seward Park and you're all good to go. Again, kayakers more than welcome to join in, and to register more information, you can go to bloodworksnorthwest.org.